Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of this training. In this session, what we were going to see how to monitor the remote system using CCMS, how we can integrate the remote system using CCMS. Okay, let's go to the system and start configuring the remote system. Okay, so we have two systems, ECC and ECQ, for this particular training session. So we wanted to monitor the ECQ system from ECC. So what we need to do is, first we need to register, we need to create a user to monitor the system in the client 000. The user is CSM rec. Okay, how do we do that? First what we do is we need to log into client 000. Okay, client 000, then log in with the user SAP star. This is a standard user, or you can use the other user also, but we need to make sure that has the specific that has all the necessary authorization to do this particular activity. Yeah, so right now since it's a fresh system, we use the SAP star. Here what we need to do is we need to call the transaction code Rfc 21, that which we have seen in our previous session. Go to Rfc 21, then go to technical infrastructure, go to configure central system. Here you can say create CSMREG user. Select this. Now it says CCMS CSM reg service user. You can use this function to create CMS reg service user in your system. You need only enter a password for the CMS reg and click on the green check to process. Okay, that means this one, this tick mark. Okay, create the CMS reg user, you can see there. Okay, and the CMS reg is already defined in your system. If CMS reg is already defined in your system, then no changes are made. CMS reg password also remain the same. If CMS reg is not found, then the user is created automatically. Okay, let's assume in our case CMS reg is not there, then the user will be created automatically. The only prerequisite for that, SAP BC underscore CMS reg user role has been installed in the system. So we need to have a role which by default should be assigned to the specific user. So it also says that the CCMS has transported the role in all system at release 6.20 and above. In our system is ECC, so it should be there. Should the role not found, you can define yourself using the transaction PFCG. Okay, the CCMS online document, search them CMS reg specific and specify what authorization required for this role. So let's have a look into our system whether we have this specific role or not. Okay, let me open a new session. Let's go to PFCG. Go to SAP underscore BC underscore CSMREG. Okay, this is the role. Let's check whether we have this role in our system. We have the role, but this is yellow. That means there is something is wrong with this role, and this profile is not generated properly. What I will do, I will go to the change mode, I go to export option, go to edit old status. So whenever you use the standard SAP roles, and make sure that is in the correct stage. Yeah. So this is also quite important. Otherwise, it's diagnosing these issues after you creating all the templates. It's diagnosing this kind of issue is quite difficult. So you need to be a security consultant if you really wanted to diagnose these kind of issues. So make sure from the beginning stage that these roles are in perfect the same like what SAP says, then we do not need to look into these kind of issues in the later stage. Okay, now here what I will do, I will say save and generate. Can I go back? Now it is green, so it's in a right stage. Okay, now I close this session. I don't need it anymore. Now we need to provide a password. So for the password, let's open Notepad. So this will be the password, basis 14001. Okay, this will be our password, or let's say basis 140. Okay, I copy paste the password and say okay, same like what is said here. I selected okay. CCM reg is a service user that is recommended for use of CCM agent program reporting the data in the monitoring architecture of the alert monitoring in RZ20, that you should create CMS reg in all system which you wish to register CCM agent. For example, in the central monitoring system, please note the password so that you can use when you register agents. Okay, so right now we created the user CMS reg. It should be a service user. That's what it says. It should be a service user, and we need to keep note of the password because we need this password to register it. And it also says that we need to create this user in all the systems. Okay, now we created an ECC. So it says express document, no address data in SAP users app office is received. Okay, never mind. Role is locked by the user. Oops, we already came out. Role assignment not executed because we are locking. Perhaps that was the reason. So let's go back and check it. What happened? SU01 CMS reg. This is the user. The user is created by SAP with today's date. Let's check whether the role is assigned. The role did not got assigned. So the role name was PFCG. This was the role name. So let's assign it manually maybe. Okay. It's still in red. So there is something is wrong here. This role is being locked, but okay. Okay, now it is assigned. Let's check it. Now it's green. Okay, so it's perfect. Now if I go back to the another session, let's go to PFCG. The role, the user still yellow. I will say user compare. So this is always required whenever you assign any roles, then you need to be, all these things should be green. So the user is perfect now in client 00 of ECC system. Okay, so what we did at first, the ECC dot 100, that means client 100, we created the user and this is the password. Okay, now I will go out from the system, then I will go to the ECQ system. Let's go to the client 000 SAP star. Let's put the password. Now let's go to the transaction RZ21. Let's do the same thing again. Yeah, go to technical infrastructure, configuring central system, then create CMS reg user. Here also we will use the same password. Okay. Before that, let's open the session and check whether this role is properly maintained in this system or not, because the previous system we had the problem. Let's check it again. Go to PFCG, go to the role SAP BC CMS reg. Let's check here it is okay or not. Still we have it as yellow. Okay, this is not a customer's namespace. So whatever it starts with SAP belongs to SAP. So we are not supposed to edit this one. That's what it means to say. But still we are going to use the standard role. So we wanted to make sure that role is consistent. Select OK, edit vault status. That means it will not change anything in the role. Okay, let's do the same thing again. Save the role and generate the role. Once we have done this, go back. Now it is green. Now let's come out. Okay, let's close this. Okay, now we need to specify the password. I will use the same password so that we can avoid some confusion. Enter the password identically. It says I think your password is identical. Let's see. Okay. At the moment it's creating the user here. Okay, now it says the user has been created. This is the user ID. Okay, user is created now, and the role should have been assigned to the user. So let's have a look. Everything is fine. Go back, go to display mode and see whether everything is fine or not. Let's go to the role. Okay, it got assigned automatically, not like the other system. Everything is fine. So in the central monitoring system, now we need to connect the remote system to our central monitoring system. So for that, what we will do is RZ21, go to technical infrastructure and say configure central system and create remote monitoring entry. Here what we need to specify the system ID target system ID, and we need to specify the RFC connections. One is for collecting data, one is for executing analysis method. Okay, so let's select only one, maybe for our demonstration purpose, collecting data. So how to collect the data? We already have a user in our ECQ system. Let's create an RFC connection to the ECQ system. So without RFC connection, you cannot connect to the different system. Yeah, so we need to create an RFC connections. Let's go to SM59, and it should be an ABAP connection. So let's say create. We say ECC CLNT00, and the connection type can be 3 ABAP. I'll just copy paste this as a document. The host which we are connecting is ECQ. The system is this host name is ECC QA01. Then it automatically picks up the IP address of the system. Then here we need to specify the user ID and password 000, and we need to specify the user and the password. Then you save this. Okay, the details of how to create an RFC connection, what is this information, we are covering it in a different sessions. So we will see the detail of RFC connection in a different sessions. For time being, we just wanted to create an RFC connection to connect the CCMS system. Okay, now let's close this one. Let's go back here. So the system which we want to connect is ECQ, and the data collection RFC is this one, and let's say test connection. The connection test for ECQ CLN00 is performed successfully, so I'll just save this. Okay, now let's go to our CCM monitor. Okay, I wanted to exit. The CCM monitor is RZ 10. Sorry, RZ 20, RZ 20. Here we already have our checklist which we have created before. Now let's say I want to create some additional things. Let's say I want activate maintenance function. I want to add some additional system here right now. So I will say add. You can see here ECQ is automatically added. Okay, this was not there before previously. Now it is been added. This is a new system which we have added. Now if you select, now it's everything is basically green here. This system does not have any much problems. You can select some specific things, whatever you would like to monitor. ECQ QA on database, generate monitor. Let's say this is ECQ monitor. Okay, now you can see in ECQ we have couple of things, which is basically we can monitor from ECC the ECQ system CCM alerts. So like this you can add any number of SAP system to one central system, so that you can monitor all the SAP system from one specific system. Okay, so we have ECC here. Maybe we need to have a different names perhaps. Then ECC system monitor, or you can create different nodes and organize it properly. Okay, this is a way you can connect a remote system using CCMS to a central system. You can connect many number of SAP system and you can monitor from one specific central system. Okay, with this we are coming to the end of this session. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next session. Bye bye.